今からテレビを見る。
おー、今月のテレビは面白い？
いいえ。今年は面白いテレビがない。
1年に面白いテレビが時々あるよ。
ないよ。
じゃあ私の家に来る？
行かない。
じゃあ来月は来る？
行かない。テレビで忙しい。来年も行かないよ。At the end of this video, you'll be able to fill in the blanks on this worksheet with the kanji for each word. This means, of course, that you'll also be able to read those words when you see them in kanji. This series is for people who have finished our N5 Kanji Meanings and Writings course and is a great companion for our own Anki flashcard deck on ToKini.com. This is also great for people who have finished James Haysig's Remembering the Kanji and want to learn how to actually read. It'll also work well for Wanikani users who want more exposure to words, readings, and writings for the kanji that they learned there. We're starting off with a nice, easy, massively useful word. Ima. Were you able to guess what the word was from the first sentence? If not, I'll tell you now. I just told you. Now. It means now. Many people are in a rush and thus avoid writing at all costs. But multiple studies show that writing new words you learn is extremely effective in facilitating memorization. Write along with Yuki here, or pause the video and use the diagram on the left to try and practice writing the word. I also recommend writing down words when the kanji in them are read in ways you haven't seen yet.
今からテレビを見る。今からテレビを見る。
We jump right down into our first sentence with Ando-san saying, Ima, now, kara. Kara means from a physical location or time or person. In this case, since ima relates to time, we know ima kara means from now. Terebi means television. O makes television the object of the coming verb, which is miru. Will look or will watch. Our literal translation becomes, from now, television will watch. Unyodified English gives us, I'm gonna watch TV now. Stories are a great way to remember words that you find difficult to remember. Here's an example of one you might make utilizing the same character we used to learn the meaning of the kanji back in the Meanings and Writing series. Who is in my house?
Who are you?
Literally, who is now in my house? And in my house is now on TV because of my cool Ando-san roof and fluorescent worm lights. Because that roof part is based on the kanji for person, and our person from the Meanings and Writing series was Ando-san. So, ima uses the kanji now and means now.
おー、今月のテレビは面白い？
いいえ。We now get 今月 with kon being represented by the now kanji and getsu being represented by moon. We've seen moon before mean month, but up until now we've read it as gatsu. Unfortunately, when combined with ima and lots of other non-number kanji, it becomes getsu. By the way, this isn't now moon, which I'm sure you guessed. It's now month, or this month.
おー、今月のテレビは面白い？おー、今月のテレビは面白い？
Our main sentence starts with Yuki saying, oh, which is like ah or oh in English. She then brings out our word, 今月, this month. It's followed by the no particle and the noun terebi, which of course means television. So we know we have a compound noun here meaning this month's TV, as in this month's TV shows. That's marked by the topic marker wa, making this month's TV the new topic of discussion. She then asks 面白い, interesting, with rising intonation on the end, giving us the literal question, oh, about this month's TV. Interesting? Englishifying it gives us, oh, any interesting TV shows this month? Ando-san responds, no, negative. You know how hello in Japanese is konnichiwa? Well, that kon is the same kon as the one here in 今月, and it means the same thing too. Now or this, but for day instead of month. So you can think of 今月 as saying hello to this month because you couldn't say hello to a month that isn't already here. So 今月 uses the kanji now and moon and means this month. 今年は面白いテレビがない. Let's show you the first kanji so you can get mad about it being ko and not kon. That's kanji for you, and it's why we learn words, not readings by themselves. We know this is going to have to do with now again, so let's see the kanji for toshi. There it is, and it means year. So 今年 means now year, which I'm sure you can guess we'd call this year in English.
今年は面白いテレビがない。今年は面白いテレビがない。
We have a single sentence for this part, and Ando-san starts it off with 今年, this year, which he makes the topic with the wa topic marker, giving us something like as for this year. 面白い, interesting, テレビ. We can see here that 面白い, which is an adjective, as in it modifies nouns, directly modifies テレビ, which we've seen a lot already, and combined means interesting television or interesting TV. Interesting TV becomes the subject of the sentence when Ando-san marks it with the ga subject marker, and it's the subject of the word nai, which means does not exist. Literally, as for this year, interesting TV, not exist. Let's just leave it like that, as I think you're smart enough to understand it. Remember, if you find a word easy to remember, which you often will for words that are very common, like this one, you don't have to have a story or memorization mnemonic. You'll likely see it enough along your Japanese journey that the story will be unnecessary. But here's one anyway. This year is code-named Tushi. Code Tushi. Because this year is gonna kick you in the Tushi. Yes, I am 3 years old and I often do laugh at my own dad jokes, despite not being a dad yet. So, 今年 uses the kanji now and year and means this year. 今年は面白いテレビがない。
一年に面白いテレビが時々あるよ。
ないよ。I imagine you immediately recognized ichi, since we've seen it a few times already. So let's throw up the kanji for that. There we go. The second kanji is from our last word. Did you guess it? That's right. It's year. And we're reading it as nen, ichi nen. I'm guessing you already know what it means too, right? 1 year.
一年に面白いテレビが時々あるよ。一年に面白いテレビが時々あるよ。
Yuki responds to Ando-san saying that there's no interesting TV this year with a sound of surprise. 一年, 1 year, ni. So 1 year is target, since I always refer to the ni particle as the target marker. We'll have to wait until the end of the sentence to see what verb it's the target of, though. Next we have 面白いテレビ. Again, interesting TV, which again becomes the subject of the sentence, as we mark it with the subject marker. が時々, This used to be one of my favorite words. I just like the way it sounds. It means sometimes, and it's an adverb, which means it modifies the coming verb, which happens to be aru, to exist or to have. That means that 1年 was the target of to exist. And what exists? Interesting TV. The yo sentence ending particle adds some friendly emphasis that also often suggests the speaker believes they're giving the listener some new information. Stitching together our literal translation, we get, 1 year, target, interesting TV sometimes exists, actually. I used actually to add that friendly emphasis, although it's not always such a friendly word in English, I suppose. See, this is why translation is difficult, and why I suggest never actually trying to do translation outside of completely literal translation until you're fluent in the language. Anyway, Ando-san responds to Yuki's assertive statement with, does not exist, actually. We've got an ichi worm sliding around disguised in a linen sheet behind you for 1 whole year to give you a false sense of security and make you think that perhaps this 1 year won't kick you in the tushy. So, 1年 uses the kanji 1 and year and means 1 year.
じゃあ、私の家に来る？
行かない。No, Yuki did not say cool. She said kuru. This is actually the first verb vocabulary word we're encountering in this kanji course. Verbs always have hiragana on the end that is not represented by kanji, like this. You might remember that this kanji means come, and this verb also means to come.
じゃあ、私の家に来る？じゃあ、私の家に来る？
You can get access to the worksheets in this video and other worksheets as well if you're a member of ToKiniAndy.com. You'll also find an Anki deck that teaches all the JLPT N5 kanji meanings and writings, as well as extra sentences that aren't in this video for helping you to learn how to read them. We have tons of other grammar, vocabulary, reading, and listening content as well. Yuki gives us our main sentence. Ja means something like, well then, or even just, well. She then creates a complex noun using the no particle. Watashi, I or me, no, ie, house. A complex noun that literally reads me house. It's obviously my house. That's marked by the target marker ni, and then we have our verb kuru, which means will come in a sentence on its own. The intonation is rising on the end, indicating that it's a question in casual speech. Kuru, literally, well then, my house will come? No, her house is not coming to Ando-san's house. She's asking, well then, will you come to my house? Or, wanna come to my house? The you is implied, of course. He responds, will not go. And she makes another surprise sound. This horse thought he was cool and tried to do a cool backflip, but he failed. And now people are coming to help, shouting, we're coming, to the not cool horse. So, kuru uses the kanji come and means to come.
じゃあ、来月は来る？
行かない。If we look at the kanji for 来月, I think you can figure out the meaning. I'll put them on the board and give you 3 seconds. Did you guess approaching moon? No? Good, because as you probably guessed, it means the coming month, as in next month.
じゃあ、来月は来る？じゃあ、来月は来る？来る？ 来る？
Yuki gives us another main sentence this time around with じゃあ, which again means, well then, 来月, next month, and that's marked by the topic marker. So it's our new topic of discussion. About next month, 来る will come, with rising intonation giving us a question. Literally, well then, about next month, will come? I'm sure you can figure out what that means in actual English, so I'll just let you know that Ando-san immediately responds with, will not go. And Yuki lets out another surprised and possibly offended, eh? You're just sitting there eating rye bread on the 31st of the month, and the moon mouth guy chases you into the next month and gets you. Get it? So, 来月 uses the kanji come and moon and means next month. テレビで忙しい。来年も行かないよ。Yes, that's the same 来 that we saw in 来月, and it's the 年 from 一年, which means that 来年 means next year. You got it. And if you didn't, you do now.
テレビで忙しい。来年も行かないよ。テレビで忙しい。来年も行かないよ。
We have two sentences as our main sentence for a change. I say テレビ, television, で. I like to think of で as a particle that means something similar to the English word via, though で is much more common than the English word via. So, via television. 忙しい, busy. Literally, busy via television or busy due to television. Then, 来年, next year, も, also, 行かない, will not go. Finally, a よ sentence ending particle for friendly emphasis and often new info for the listener. Not so friendly though. Literally, busy due to TV. Next year also will not go, man. Tidied up, I'm busy watching TV. I'm not going next year either, man. Make sure to hit the like button to help Yuki feel better. It's not going to do anything to help Ando-san though. Did you know that wrapping rye bread in linen will keep it fresh until next year? No? That's because it's not true. Linen does nothing to extend rye bread's shelf life. I'll let myself out and come back 来年 with better jokes. Is it 来年 yet? So, 来年 uses the kanji come and year and means next year. If you've enjoyed the video so far, make sure to subscribe. But don't go anywhere because next is the quiz. Try to write down or fill in the words on the worksheet if you have it as we go through the whole scene. Or just write them down on a piece of paper or trace them on the palm of your hand with your finger. 今からテレビを見る。今からテレビを見る。
今月のテレビは面白い？今月のテレビは面白い？
今年は面白いテレビがない。今年は面白いテレビがない。
1年に面白いテレビが時々あるよ。1年に面白いテレビが時々あるよ。じゃあ、私の家に来る？じゃあ、私の家に来る？ じゃあ来月は来る？じゃあ来月は来る？
来年も行かないよ。来年も行かないよ。
今月はテストがある。今月はテストがある。来年から会社員になる。来年から会社員になる。今は9月です。今は9月です。今年は何を勉強する？今年は何を勉強する？4月に友達が来る。4月に友達が来る。来月テレビを買います。来月テレビを買います。1年は365日です。1年は365日です。
We'll be covering even more words in the next video in this series. If it's already out, you can click here to continue learning with us.